They didn't finish my shirt. The blouse is barely done. Dress and the pants, those pieces are all cut. It's that blouse I'm concerned about. I need to get this to a point where it's wearable. I'm gonna have to finish in time. I have no option.
You will remember him from season 2 of Making the Cut, and now he is expanding his brand. Welcome, Dushyant Asthana. Hello.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. How are you?
Well, I am great. Congratulations on actually making the cut and making it onto the show, right? Like, there's thousands of designers who want to be a part of this. Tell me about that process for you.
I was so certainly very humbled to be on the show. Amazing to be on the show. And the process was, the way I describe it to my friends is, I have a graduate degree, and I in my previous life, I worked in corporate America. And in neither world, I was ever interviewed as extensively as I was to get on this show.
I bet. And you know, I love watching that show. I love, Heidi and Tim, and like, I want Tim to be my uncle, like I want him to walk around in my house and say, make it work, like I just need him in my life. But what is that filming like? I mean, I could imagine you guys are really under the gun to create these beautiful garments. Tell me what that's like.
So a word about Tim. Everything you see on TV is true.
Oh, like, makes me so happy.
He is every bit of what you want him to be and then some, right? And I'm just getting goosebumps thinking, talking about that right now. Because he's so caring. He really genuinely cares about you and your work, and he'll give you good feedback, right? So he truly is a mentor that a designer on the show can ask for. And as far as the assignments in the show go, we stayed at this massive Malibu ranch with we each had our own suites and everything, but it was so much pressure to create these things that I personally enjoyed none of that, because I would just go back to my room, focused, come back to the studio, work, cut, do all of those things. High pressure environment, but that's what you expect on a show like this when you are 10 of thousands of designers who made it there. So right. Certainly very, very high pressure.
I mean, I know you, because of your aesthetic and because of what you do with your brand and your clothing, I mean, the nature of hand-loomed fabrics and hand-dyed fabrics, I mean, kind of just what you are about, I would imagine would be very difficult to replicate in such a quick environment. Right.
So which is why in terms of the best approach I took in both the episodes, or in the 2 episodes I was on, was to work with the fabrics that closely represent what my brand is about. Mm-hmm. In episode 2, I worked with this beautiful green fabric from Liberty London that actually is a derivative in my mind from 400-year-old Indian fabric. So I really so that was my approach. But yeah, you're right. In terms of how my brand does fabric, it almost takes a month or 2 months to create 100 yards of fabric that I can then work with. So it's a really labor intensive and long process.
Right. So tell me about the expansion of your brand now that the show is over. What a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome to be on the show, and the show has, gotten me a lot of exposure. And while I was on the show, and one of the things that a lot of folks have asked me since I've been on the show is like, hey, why did you not create menswear? And my response to that was, one of the reasons why what I wanted to show on the show was essentially that I'm not just this designer that creates men's shirts, but a more expansive designer. So as a direct result of that, I did decide, and now I'm in process of expanding the brand to introduce a full women's wear line, which I'm hoping to launch in the spring, summer of 2022. The goal has always been for the brand to take the Eastern sensibilities and then create these modern contemporary designs. It just happened so that I started with menswear, and now the time is right to expand into women's wear and have a full line of men's and women's collections.
Wow. So you mean women's garments that are fabulous and bright colors and all of the things that we are used to with your menswear, right?
Absolutely. So using the same textiles, but in a very sort of modern contemporary California cut. You can expect dresses, you can expect tops, pants, jumpsuits, all of the above. And I'm really excited to sort of bring that all to life and show it to the world next season.
That's so awesome. And that is coming out, you said spring, summer 2022, right?
Correct. So you can expect that to hit the markets in hopefully February.
Oh, fantastic. And then lastly, I want to talk to you because, you know, you had another life, you said, in corporate America, which I think is interesting. And now you're here in fashion. So what would you say, because I feel like people who are fashion designers have it in their soul, you know, in their gut, that like they need to create, they need to get these ideas out of their head and out into a garment. So what would you say to somebody who maybe is stuck in their corporate America job, but really wants to branch out into fashion?
Well, I think one thing that I would say is, do it. The only way to do it is to do it. But do it smartly. I did it where I took the time to do all the research and work while I still had my corporate job, so I could bankroll it. But once I was at a point where I was like, yes, this is something, I'm onto something, I had run enough tests in the market, then I decided to sort of move away from my corporate job and fully focus on fashion. So do it. There's never a bad time to not do it. Mm-hmm. Do it smartly, but definitely do it.
And then lastly, I want you to tell me what your parents think of your work now and what you're doing.
So, I mean, I come from a proper middle-class Indian family, right? So growing up, we were all about, hey, let's go study, let's get educated, and let's go get a job. But I think after a certain time, you know, now that I'm slightly older, my parents were like, okay, we get it. We understand what you're trying to do. And my mother was really happy. My father was happy too as well, but I don't think he shows that much. But I think they were really happy. They were talking to the neighbors in India, the relatives, you know, everybody's like, oh, he's on TV, you know, go check him out, which is, you know, which is fun, you know, coming from where I came from and where I am at the moment. It has been quite a journey.
It's wonderful. It is wonderful to meet you. Congratulations. And everybody can pick up, you are selling your beautiful fashion menswear and I know some women's jumpsuits as of right now on your website, right?
That is correct. Everybody can go to the website www.dushyant.la. That is DUSHYANT.LA. And everything I have is on there.
All right. Dushyant, so lovely to meet you. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.